What's up, everybody? My name is Jeremy Duran, and this is the No Holds Podcast. Man, I know it seems like I always say this. I haven't done this in a while because of so and so or because of so and so. But man, it does feel good to be back on track. I'm gonna start doing this. I promise you, we're gonna start doing this more and more, and it's just gonna get even better because God has just revealed some stuff to me, and I'm excited. I'm excited where No Holds is going, and it's going to be good. It's going to be awesome. But enough about that. The attention is all on this guy right here, Carter Johnson. What's up, bro?
What's up?
Doing good?
Doing good.
Yeah. How's your day today?
Good.
Good.
Easy day.
Easy day.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Nice. Start off with some questions.
Okay.
What is the biggest risk you have ever taken?
Biggest risk I've ever taken. I would have to say quitting college.
Quitting college.
That was a big risk. It was just something that I'd always dreamed of, and when I quit, I felt like I was letting down my family. Just a lot of people, little young kids, just looked up to me through basketball and everything.
Yeah.
It's something I was very passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely hard for me to quit, but I just knew I wasn't supposed to be there.
Dang it. Should have waited for that question till later. Because that it was something that I wanted to ask is like,
yeah,
and I'll go ahead and ask is why quit? You were, like you said, you're so passionate, mm-hmm. so good at it. Mm-hmm. You go to college and I end up hearing, that you do quit. Why? Like, what made you just say, I'm done?
I know it's crazy because basketball was my life. It was like, if you heard Carter Johnson, you heard his basketball. You know?
Oh yeah.
That's how it always was, and I loved it so much, and I knew before going out there that I wasn't gonna enjoy it. That I'm from Seminole, Texas, small town, in Alpine, Sul Ross State University, smaller town than Seminole, and I always wanted something bigger.
Yeah,
I always wanted to get out of Seminole and go experience something bigger. So I had my doubts before even going out there, and then when I got out there, it was just I don't know. I just was not in love with it. I was having to force myself to enjoy it.
Like, what were you doubting about? Just that you weren't going to be good enough?
No, that I wasn't going to,
just
being there.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, that atmosphere, just Alpine, smaller town than Seminole.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding, smaller town than Seminole. I don't know. And it was just ran a lot differently than what I was used to. I've been in off-season my whole life, in high school. And up there was lifting weights and running. No gym time. It was weird. It was weird. Like in high school or off season to me is to get better.
Yeah.
In the off season, like on your own game, fundamentals, getting shots up every day. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't that. And I don't know. It was just weird to me.
Yeah.
I just was not in love with it.
Do you miss it?
When I think about it, if I go back and look at pictures and stuff, of course, always got that competitive side in me.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But God's got bigger plans, I feel like.
Oh yeah. You still play around here? You used to go to the high school and play?
Every now and then.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice, man. Nice. How would you want your loved ones to remember you?
I would just want them to see God in me, just to see love. I want people around me to feel loved.
Yeah.
Welcomed. I don't know.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
Be loved, bro.
Yeah,
that's what it's about, man. Love is key.
Yeah.
Love is key. What's the high point and low point of your day?
High point. That's a good question. Every day is different.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's say that maybe today. What was the high point and low point of today?
The high point of today was, all right, I guess I do have a high point and low point of the day. If I have to stay at the yard, I don't like that. It makes the day go by slower.
Oh, man, yeah.
So today, my high point was getting to leave the yard. Yeah.
No, that's good. Yeah. No, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
I do. Like, when you're out and about doing stuff, time goes by. Yeah, super fast. You're at the yard, you're trying to find stuff to do, and it's like...
Feels like you're twirling your thumbs.
Like, What the heck happened?
Yeah.
Who is your hero and why?
Who was my hero? Like in life?
In life.
In life. I would say my dad.
Your dad.
He has done a lot for me and my family, my siblings. And he's just shown me what hard work is, even on the days that you don't want to do it. And I don't know, he had to provide,
Yeah.
And I feel like kids, we take our parents for granted when we're young. We don't see everything. We're not, we're young. We're just, give me what I want all the time. And we never take into consideration what they do for us. And I feel like once I got let go from the oil field, when the oil field went down, and I went to work with him at Carter and Company, I was side by side with him. And he's been doing that since he was 17.
Yeah.
Every day, day in, day out.
Yeah.
So getting to see him do that and how physical of a job it is, it's like, it made me appreciate him a lot more. And he'd always been my hero. Like, I'd always looked up to him, always wanted to make him proud. So, like, getting to see and learn from him, it just made me appreciate him a lot more.
Dude, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That is super real.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the most important thing I should know about you?
Most important thing you should know about me. Like, God can do anything. I feel like, I don't know, God can turn around anyone.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I don't know, I can testify to that.
I definitely see, since you came back, I've seen a huge change in your life.
Yeah.
You stepping out now, even doing videos on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That right there, that is stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And seeing what God can do there, oh man, it's amazing, man. I love that, bro. I love it. Man, and the next one is, and it's pretty much what we all talk about on here. It's like, man, what's your story? Who is Carter Johnson, man? Let's start when you were young. Where were you born? You born here in Seminole?
I was born in Lubbock.
In Lubbock.
Yeah. And then they moved back here to Seminole. I don't know how old I was. I was still a baby, young. They moved back here. You want the whole story?
Yeah, man. Like
childhood up.
Whatever. Like, yeah. Like I said, this is spirit led.
Right.
And I always let the spirit move any direction.
Right.
He wants to go.
Right.
So, yeah, like I and as you talk, I'll ask some questions.
Right.
And yeah, like, how was your childhood? How was your relationship, with your mom and dad back then? How was it growing up? Because I know that you lost your mom.
Right.
And how has that affected you? Like, it's just
right.
But we'll start, when you were younger.
Okay. I honestly don't remember a lot of my childhood. I don't know. I feel like I might have blocked out a lot of it. I don't really remember Christmases or birthdays. I remember a lot of the bad memories.
Gotcha.
But I know that my dad was always trying to do his best for us, And I was a mama's boy growing up. Love my mom. Mom, best friend. Your mom is someone you can always come to and talk to, and you're not scared to tell them anything,
Yeah.
You're not scared of them. And I was always scared of my dad. Or like, I don't know, just like he loved me. I loved him, but like just a fear of what he's gonna say. I guess.
Yeah, no. And I can kind of, well, I can't say I can relate. I didn't have that relationship with my mom.
Yeah.
And to hear that you did have that, like, that's
right.
awesome. Like, and I understand, like, you hear a lot of people say, mama's boys, daddy's boys, whatever. But I wish I was able to have that with my mom.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not dead or anything,
right.
And I still do talk to her, but it's just like, to hear that is like, man, I know she was always there.
Right.
And I know she did whatever she could to provide and to encourage and do whatever. Yeah. But I never had that relationship like you would say you had.
I don't know. I think I had a good balance, I guess I would say. Because like my dad, I always wanted to make him proud through sports and everything. And our whole relationship with sports growing up, like that's how we talked.
You and your dad?
Yeah. We just.
So did he push you into doing basketball again?
Actually, no. My dad didn't play basketball. No one in my family played basketball until me.
Oh, okay.
He played baseball,
Mm.
but he didn't graduate high school. Got my mom pregnant, and he was a lot different than me. He was quick tempered, like didn't want to listen to the coaches.
Okay.
But baseball was actually my first sport, my first love. Like I loved it. It was
Wow.
all about it. Yeah.
What position?
Shortstop, pitcher. I was the closing pitcher.
Nice.
Yeah, it was something I loved. But fifth grade, I think, fifth grade summer maybe, I was going from baseball practice in my baseball pants to basketball summer league practice, like summer all-star practices.
Mm.
And I just like, I don't know, I was tired of going from one to another, and I just felt like I wanted to make a choice.
Yeah.
And I loved basketball. So
Man.
I picked it up and just ran with it.
Do we kind of have something? Well, I didn't really get into basketball.
Yeah.
But baseball
Mhm.
was I would say, like my first love for sure.
Yeah.
That's what my dad pushed me was. I had no choice. It was like, no, you're going to do baseball.
Right.
So when it came to t-ball, you're playing t-ball. Well, I played because he was a coach too.
Yeah.
So I had no
You had no
choice.
choice.
I had no choice. So, but I had learned to just love that sport and I was just like you. I played shortstop, third base, pitcher, everything except catcher.
Yeah.
But I didn't ever transition to basketball or anything like that. It was, I'm pushing baseball on you, and we're going to try to do what we can to make you like the best player.
Right.
But it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But man, so what got you into basketball? Was it friends? Was it something that you would just see on the TV or?
One of my friends' parents actually asked me to come to a Little Dribblers game just to watch, see if I'd be interested in playing, because they knew I actually never played tackle football. I started flag football and baseball. And I remember being in kindergarten, like young, 5 years old. I was one of the first kids to ever throw a spiral, like in the league. Like I was the only kid that could throw. So they knew I was a pretty good athlete. Mm-hmm. So they were like, maybe he'll be good at basketball. So they asked me to come out. And after I watched the game, I was like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to try. And then just picked it up.
Did you start watching basketball after that?
I want to say yes, but I don't really remember. I remember I always had a ball in my hand.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan.
That's why I love
Jordan. LeBron might be better if he had Jordan's mentality.
Mm.
Jordan just brought a different mindset to the game.
Definitely.
And I think Kobe took after that. I would say maybe even Kobe's better than LeBron.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. People they'll probably say no, but no,
They probably say no, but LeBron, he's a baby.
I definitely agree, man. Definitely agree. So when you started playing basketball, did you start just practicing on your own? Was it something that you had to do on your own? Did your parents push you, like, come on, let's try to get you better?
So I want to say I started in 4th grade, actually. But I got hurt 3 games in to my first Little Dribbler season. And my dad, though, after Little Dribblers, like, practices and stuff, like, I would stay after and we'd work on ball handling together. But it was really something I loved, too. So, like, it wasn't just him pushing me. It's like I would do it on my own time also.
Yeah. When you said you had to make your dad proud, do you feel like that he was never proud of you? Or was it like something that I have to work at this every day? Did he ever tell you he was proud of you?
Oh, yeah. Not that I had to make him proud, that I just wanted to make him proud. You know, like, you want to hear good things from your parents.
Oh, definitely,
like, from your dad, or whoever you look up to, whoever you're trying to make proud.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, but I wouldn't say it was just for him.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was forcing it down me or nothing like that.
And what about your mom?
I really don't remember my mom so much on the sports side. Mom was, I don't know. I remember being at her house a lot, outside, shooting on the goal.
Yeah.
She would come out and shoot with me and stuff. It's always fun.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I would say my mom was in my life like, after they divorced, which maybe was, like, around 2nd or 3rd grade for me. I don't know. My mom had manic bipolar. So she would go through these seasons where she could be in our life when she was taking her medication.
Yeah.
And just good. And everything would be going good. And then, I don't know, she'd just have a bad season. And she would quit taking her medication and start drinking. And it would just get so bad to where, my dad couldn't let her be around us like that.
Yeah.
So my dad would take us out of her life, and then she'd get better, and she'd get back in our life, and it was just a constant in and out, you know. And it got so bad to the point where we were only meeting on Sundays at McDonald's. Like, and it didn't even feel like I was getting to see my mom because my dad had to be there to like supervise. And I remember one Sunday morning she showed up drunk, like hair all messed up, hickeys on her neck, just not good. And then like my dad, that was it. The last time you're gonna see him. I remember hugging her, like I was the last one to hug her. My brother, sister had hugged her. I love my mom, one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And I just remember telling her like, he's not gonna let you see us if you don't get better, you know. And at the time, I want to say, until she passed, I really didn't take into consideration. I don't even know if I knew about her bipolar. So I really didn't take it into consideration. And it got to the point where she would reach out to me through social medias or try to text me, tell me that she's doing better, blah, blah, blah. And then I find out she gets thrown in jail for getting involved with the cops when she gets pulled over or something. So I quit believing it, you know. I just felt like I was being lied to. Like, if you really wanted to be in my life, you would change. Not taking into consideration her disorder or anything. So I just started blocking her out. Quit reading the letters that she would write. And she passed away my junior year during basketball season. Yeah, I'll never forget the day. I remember driving my dad. I was actually with my dad going to school that morning, and it just felt off. You know, he didn't know apparently before he dropped me off. He said he would have took me to school. You know, but it just something felt weird that morning. I could feel like just a sad presence.
Yeah.
And I got checked out second period, and he just threw his arm around me as we're walking out to school. Get in the truck, and he tells me, and just I almost felt guilt for like never getting to the point where I wasn't even reading the letters. You know, I was just trashing them. I remember as soon as I got home, I was looking for them. I couldn't find any. But it wasn't. I was a kid, you know.
Yeah.
I couldn't put. It wasn't me. It wasn't on me.
Yeah. So how did that affect you, like relationship-wise? Did that just want you? Did your relationship with your dad just want to get stronger because you didn't have that relationship with your mom?
I would say me and my dad, we've always, like at a younger age, I would say we always had a good relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, I always loved my dad loved me. And I don't know, afterwards I think we did get closer, but it sounds bad. My mom wasn't in my life at the time, not on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
So I got used to living without her, used to like going about my everyday life without her. So in a way, she was kind of already gone, you know. So it was more shocking. Like I really didn't know how to feel about it, but like I don't know, just thinking about all the things that she's not going to get to see in my life.
Yeah.
When I get married, when I have kids, you know, it sucks, but
yeah,
it's okay. I think I've always had a good. I always told people like if someone did get close to me and figure out like my life when I was younger, I feel like I always had a positive. I always told myself like someone out there's got it worse than me. You know.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why like my sister's doing as good as she is today. Like I'm not really hindered by it today in my life. You know. I feel like it's because I was positive about it. I feel like, and maybe that's why I blocked out a bunch of it. You know, in my childhood. I don't know. Man. I really feel like it's probably somewhere in there that's hindering me or something that I don't know about. I don't know, maybe. But it's just, I don't know. I've always had a positive outlook on it.
Yeah, no, and that's good because I know sometimes it can be, it can have like a negative outcome later on.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
it can
absolutely.
affect you later on. Like when I lost my dad, it didn't affect me till later on. And it sucks, but now I can just say, hey, I'm gonna try to be better than what he was. Right. I feel like I'm there.
Yeah.
And not putting him down or anything, but I feel like that's what he wanted, and I would say like it was a struggle, but it helped me.
Yeah.
It made me stronger for sure.
Absolutely.
And the reason why I asked you that is because you said your mom was your best friend.
Yeah.
Growing up, and then when she was taken out of your life, and it was just you and your dad.
I was mad. I was mad at my dad. I didn't understand it at the time, and I remember telling him one night when we were at my mom's, like, he came to get us with him. It was him and his mom, my grandma. They came to get us from her. And I remember, like, when they opened the door for him, I was like, I don't want to live with you. I want to live with my mom. But at the time, like, I didn't know what she was going through, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's got to be tough, man, on your dad. Like,
Absolutely.
trying to explain that, and of course you were little, so, and yeah, you were
You
not,
can't really
not
explain
gonna,
it to a kid.
yeah, you won't understand anything really
I
until,
think he handled it the best he could. I think he definitely had his ups and downs, you know?
oh yeah,
And I don't know. He handled it the best way he knew how. And he fell and he had his rough seasons. Like, I don't know.
then you can, I mean, look at you, look where you're at now. You did an awesome job, man,
Yeah,
awesome job
absolutely.
raising you.
Yeah,
Perfect.
absolutely.
You know, and have you ever told your dad you're proud of him?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's good. I know there's a lot of, I don't even know if I've ever told my mom that. Maybe I have, and I need to.
Yeah.
But man, like, and this is just to anybody really. Tell your parents you're proud of them.
Absolutely.
Like that right there means a lot. You know, I mean, I know we enjoy when people say that to us. So I know, like, parents do a lot. Just like you said at the very beginning, parents go through a lot just for you guys. And
Yeah,
tell them you're proud of them.
absolutely.
It'll change their life. I promise.
Absolutely.
You know, with your sister, like, are you pretty close with her?
We are pretty close.
Yeah. She look at you like a father figure too, or no?
I don't know. When we were younger, she was always wanted to be up in my business, always following me around. And I feel like I always wanted a little brother, someone I could throw the football with, throw the baseball with.
Yeah.
And I probably made her do a lot more than she wanted to, but eventually she like just started chasing me around, wanting to do all that stuff with me. And sometimes I'd get annoyed. But I think the older I got, and then when I was going off to college, like I loved my sister. We were close, and I know we got on each other's nerves a lot growing up, when we were kids, you know. But I wanted to be a good big brother. Me and my older brother, we don't have a great relationship. I mean, we love each other, but kind of distant. Once he saw the most. He was the oldest, you know. And after he graduated high school, he left and just kind of distanced himself.
I don't know if I've ever met your older brother.
A lot of people don't believe me when I like say I have a brother. We're nothing alike.
No.
Nothing alike.
Yeah, I don't even think you've ever mentioned an older brother.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something new. I didn't know. I honestly didn't know that
Yeah.
either. Wow.
His name's Andrew. Andrew Johnson.
Where does he live now?
He's in Posts right now.
You ever try to reach out to him, talk to him?
Not as much as I should. I don't know. I guess I've kind of put it off, and you're the big brother, you know? Like, where are you at?
Yeah.
But I also don't know how to talk to him sometimes. We don't have a lot in common.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard.
How much older is he?
He was born in 95. I was born in 2000. He's about 4 years older. Like, given the months.
Man,
he graduated when I was in 8th grade.
Wow. Did not.
I know.
Dang it, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is crazy.
So, when did you start going to expand? Or how did you even, what made you want to go?
A girl.
I think I know who it was, but I ain't going to say
I'm not going to say her name either.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, I think it's funny. I'm not going to get into me and her. But it was about my junior year. I might have gone a little bit my sophomore year.
Yeah.
But my junior year is when I really started going. And at the time, I didn't know I was going for that girl. I mean, of course, she invited me and stuff. But once I started building that relationship with God, it wasn't a fake relationship. Nothing is fake with God.
Yeah.
He's never going to fake himself to you, you know?
Yeah.
And that relationship I was building with him was legit. It was the closest for a long time. I said that that's the most on fire I'd ever been until now, like here recently. So like a year from today, like in the past, like I would have told you like that was the most on fire for God I'd ever been. And it was a real relationship. I was on fire, and I thought I was becoming who she wanted me to be, and who I thought he wanted me to be.
Yeah.
Like growing close to him like that. And then out of nowhere, she was like, I don't feel peace about this anymore. And I was like, what? Like, I thought I'm becoming who you want me to be.
Yeah.
Like, I'm on fire for God. And I would say maybe 2 weeks went by. Like, I just tried, and I was still trying. But, like, eventually just straight off.
No, it happens. I feel like it does definitely happen. Did you grow up going to church at all?
I remember us being in and out a little bit. It's very vague. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But no, not consistent.
Yeah.
Definitely not as I got older. My dad always, it's not like, he was never shut off. Like, he was always open for us to go in, but like, he never led it, I guess, or was leading us to go to church.
Yeah.
But he was never, he was always okay with us going.
No, that's good. And then I guess you got your sister to start going, right?
I did, I was encouraging her, like, when I was going, like, I was like, yo, you need to come. I gave her her first Bible. And I think it's funny, after I left is when she started coming.
Mm-hmm.
She started getting really involved. And
yeah,
I was super proud of her.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I remember even, too, camp. I remember waiting on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we were there. I'm like, where's Carter at? Like, I don't know. Let me call him real quick. It's like, I'm still here at the house. Can you wait for me? He's like, yeah, definitely, man. How did you feel about camp?
I really liked it. I don't know. It was a good experience.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, I think it is life-changing too at camp. Definitely a different atmosphere.
Yeah.
Getting to know different people and seeing just
get out of your comfort zone a little bit.
Dude,
and
exactly.
I feel like it's such a big impact on a bunch of those kids because they disconnect from the world, put down their phone for a week, you know.
Yeah.
Dude, nowadays are so
exactly, dude. Yeah, man, and that's like pretty much every age group.
Every age group.
It's like that, and like, oh dang, like what are we doing wrong? But like you said, it's like a lot of us are just too comfortable of where we're at.
Way too comfortable.
We don't want to reach. We don't want to talk to anybody. We don't want to have any kind of relationship with people.
Well, these things, these phones, this technology is. I could say, like, just being. I feel like back in your day, it was different.
Yeah.
If you're gonna ask a girl out, you're gonna go up in person, you know. And nowadays, it's all. So like, the way we communicate now is all through texting. So no one knows how to socialize in person.
Yeah.
No one knows how are you doing? Look, eye contact, all kinds of stuff.
I know. And it's very different, man. And even trying to raise kids right now is different. Way different than how we were back then. You know, back then we get a butt whooping.
Yeah.
And you can do it anywhere. And it's cool.
Yep.
Now it's like, you bust somebody. Hey, what are you doing? You can't be doing that. Hey, I'm going to call the cops. Seriously? Golly.
These kids need some whooping.
Yeah, I know, right? But no, it is different.
The enemy's good at what he's doing. I feel like relationship is huge.
Yes.
And I feel like relationship with the Father is huge. So like if the enemy can twist up what relationships look like, then you don't even know how to have a relationship with the person in front of you.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I don't know. It's twisted. Relationships. Everything's just over the phone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, and that's true. Like Andrea and I think that's where, like, we got to talking the other day, trying to figure out, okay, like, what is our ministry? Like, what is it that we do together?
Right.
And it's relationships.
Yeah.
Like, we love having people at our house. Like, dude, our house can be super packed.
Yeah.
James been there, I'm pretty sure. Like, super packed.
Yeah.
Whether it's a UFC fight, whether it's like circle, it doesn't matter. It can be anything.
Yeah.
And we enjoy it. Like we enjoy the connections and even the new people. Like we enjoy the relationships, and I think that's where it's at.
Right.
You know, is showing them, hey, you're welcome. I don't care what you did. I don't care what your past looks like. I don't care where you're exactly. Yeah. You're welcome at our house. Come hang out. Let's talk. Let's get to know each other. Right. And that's where it's at. And I think that's where a lot of us miss it, man. Is like you said, there's no relationships being built. And I understand sometimes it is hard to,
Right.
because life, get busy. You don't have any kids, but you do have a job, and sometimes you get called out.
Yeah.
Me, same thing, kids getting called out. And like, I don't want to push my family to the side either. So it's like I'm building relationships with my kids, with my wife,
And also trying to.
and then also
Yeah.
trying to do everything else outside of there. It can be hard, but
Yeah.
man, it's like I read something today. The joy of the Lord is my strength. And dude, that's what it's about, bro. Love.
Yeah.
Like I always say, love is key.
Mhm.
Love is key.
Absolutely.
And people can definitely tell by talking to you whether it's real or fake.
Absolutely.
And I can tell you right now, like your love that you have is real.
Yeah.
Definitely real. And I'm kind of skipping all the way up.
No, you're good.
But what made you change that? What made you get out of that comfort zone? What made you want to go back to church and just like God, like, okay, I'm here.
Right.
Use me.
Yeah. I don't know. I always wanted to get away from Seminole. Like after high school, wanted to get away.
Mm-hmm.
And Alpine was a smaller town in Seminole. I didn't like it. Knew it wasn't for me. Came back. And actually, when I quit, it hindered me and my dad's relationship. Because I felt like that's all our relationship was, really. Like, he never made me work or nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
I always was busy with basketball in the summer. So, like, we didn't have a relationship really over anything else. And honestly, I didn't know who I was apart from. You take basketball away from me, who is Carter? If you think about it, that's all you ever knew about me, really, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. And that kind of sucks for me.
Yeah.
And us, being leaders is like, yeah, I know I didn't do it. I tried to, but
yeah,
sometimes it's hard to connect,
Right.
But not even that. It's just, yeah, like, who is Carter outside of basketball?
Yeah.
Never knew that. No.
I don't even think I knew it, to be honest with you. And when I quit, I think that's why it was so emotional for me. I remember being in my dorm, like, bawling my eyes out, telling them that I'm quitting. Because, like, that's so surprising to everyone because I loved it. I was in the gym every day.
Yeah.
On the weekends, like, that's where I was. So when I quit, I felt really low. I felt like my dad was looking down at me like, you're quitting because it's getting hard. And I went all through off season, all through the hard time. Like, that's when the weaklings quit, going through all the workouts. I made it all the way to regular practices, and then I just was hating it. I'm not gonna sit here and force myself to get through something that I'm hating.
Yeah.
Like, So when I quit, my dad was actually gone on a cruise. So I came back, had the house to myself for a week. Did not even want to be around him because I like how he was talking to me and how he I don't know. That's all our relationship really was. So I want to say the Friday he was coming back, I packed up my little Honda Accord and drove all the way to Oklahoma. It's a Broken Arrow. We're all Alex, Bailey, and then we're going.
Oh, yeah.
And I lived with them for a month. Super depressed. Didn't know what I was doing. I was supposed to be a roommate, get a job, fill that rent spot, And I did not do a good job of that. I was super depressed. Didn't know what I was doing, And moved back, got a job in the oil field, and was having to pay them money, like the money that I owed them. And me and my dad's relationship was rocky. I remember I lived with him for 2 weeks, got my first 2 paychecks, moved out at 18, got my own apartment, was paying for my own car, like was doing really good for an 18-year-old. But I didn't know how to handle the money. I was blowing it, didn't save any of it, made too much as an 18-year-old in the oil field. Oil field money. You know how that is.
Yeah.
And our relationship was just I didn't know who I was apart from him. And then I got comfortable in the oil field making that much money. And it crashed. So I'm like, what the heck? I was so comfortable, wasn't thinking about any plans, just happy to be making the money I was making.
Yeah.
And then had to go work with him at Carter and Company. And that's when I started to appreciate him a lot more, and our relationship grew so much.
That's awesome.
We were around each other every day. I was getting this shit, like, see how he worked. I was like, wow, my dad has been doing this since he was 17. Had to drop out of college. I mean, not college, high school, to provide for us,
Yeah.
And then deal with my mom's bipolar disorder later down the road. Like, can't imagine having 3 kids. But yeah, working with him definitely strengthened our relationship so much. And I think when I made the decision to move down to Denton, it shook him up. He was a little upset. And honestly, I didn't even know what I was going down there for. I wanted to get away from some of them.
Yeah.
You know, I remember wiring a tower box, looking down, my dad on another tower. I was like, I don't want to do this the rest of my life. I don't have to do this the rest of my life. I don't have anything holding me down. No kid, no girlfriend, you know. I'm not tied down to anything. Like, now is the time to go make mistakes. So I moved out there with a little bit of money in my pocket. It's funny, when I moved out there, I got a job that Caleb Decker had lined up for me, and it didn't go well. I walked out on, didn't feel like I was appreciated there. What I got hired on to do, they were having me like take trash out. I wasn't being trained to do what I was hired on to do.
Gotcha. So
I left and went through my money like over a month. I remember writing down like, in my journal, like, I need a job by August. I don't remember what day it was, but whatever day I wrote down, I remember I got a job that day. Oh God, you know, and it was a really good job. It was a pretty decent paying job for being there in the city, not knowing anyone. I want to say it was $15 an hour at a beer distribution factory, just loading beer on pallets all day. And it was a good job. It was a good gig. Like, I was like doing pretty good, paying my bills on time. And then some of the guys that I worked there with were smoking weed, and I already had tried weed when I went to college. I don't know, but they invited me to smoke with them one night. Smoked, you know, and then just kind of got more into it, and then was buying it for myself eventually. And I started sleeping on that job, like showing up late, not going in, no call, no show. Like, was really trashing that job. And it was a good job, you know. The best job while I was down there that I had. Ended up losing it because I was being a bad employee. And then I was bouncing around from job to job. All my money was going to weed. And I don't know, I was lost, super lost. And I remember being up there, like, knowing that I was doing bad, you know. Because I had accepted Jesus a long time ago when I was going to expand. So, like, I knew I was doing wrong. I knew I was living in the world. And I remember going to Upper Room in Dallas a couple times, you know. I started talking to a girl that was actually Christian, like, stopped smoking weed for her and everything. But that relationship didn't last. As soon as we broke up, went straight back to it, you know. And it got to the point I had tried acid, tried shrooms. I was smoking every day. Wake up, smoke. Midday, smoke.
And see, you couldn't tell. You know, looking at your Instagram posts, you would never know.
No.
At all.
Never know.
That you were going through anything. And just before you go on, dude, I just want to say, dude, I'm sorry. Like, forgive me for not reaching out. Like, I know, like,
that's
it's
life.
hard.
Like
It is life, but it's hard when you transition from high school to what's next. What's in between graduating and then going to, like, you know, main service. Like, there was really nothing there for you guys. And it kind of falls on us too. You know, and I'm sure
talked about that with Chris. We've talked about that.
Yeah, and I'm sure that, you know, Andre would feel the same way. It's like, we're sorry, man. You know, and
it's not on you.
And and it's it kind of does fall on us because we did no reaching, you know, and that kind of sucks. And I think I've told James this too. Like, I want to continue that relationship and continue just reaching out and letting, hey, like, y'all good. You know, when you were going through your depression, did you reach out to anybody?
I don't think so, no.
Did anybody that you were living with, did they ever say, hey, you good?
I want to say Alex maybe came to me a couple times, but I was so lost after quitting college.
Yeah, and see, that's where
I only had a little bit of money in my pocket. Like being up there in Oklahoma when I quit, I really had no money. I had money that I think was given to me to go to college when I quit. I don't even know how much it was, but like I remember looking for a job there, driving around looking for a job, and like nearly running out of gas and not having money to pay for gas to fill up to get home.
Man,
like I don't know. So I got it. Like would even stay at the house, couldn't leave because I didn't have no money to put in my car.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
super depressed.
Dude.
I would sleep in and it'd be dark outside. So just imagine,
Yeah.
you wake up, it's dark outside, and then you're gonna stay up all night until the sun barely comes up. And you're gonna go back to bed. Just super dark, super depressed. I didn't even have a bed.
Where'd you sleep?
In a chair. I was sleeping in a chair like this, with an ottoman, my feet up,
Man. Wow.
for a whole month. And like I said, I didn't have no money. I felt so bad living there. Like I was eating their groceries, and sometimes I wouldn't even try to. Like,
Yeah. Friends that are actually just real with you.
Right.
Did you
Alex
have that?
was real with me.
Yeah. That's good. That's
But
good.
I was so depressed. I don't know, so lost.
Yeah. And that's too, like you also gotta have those friends that are just, hey, I'm here to listen. Like, talk to me. What's really going on?
And I don't even think I really knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Like I don't like the whole not knowing who I was apart from basketball.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Wow.
it's not y'all's fault. Y'all can only do as much as y'all can.
And
I know
we-
you
yeah.
feel like it is,
Yeah.
but there's so many kids that y'all get to see come in and come through and come out.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up with all of them.
And it is. It
And
is.
like you said, like the way I was perceiving myself through social media, it didn't seem like anything was going on.
And see,
He's doing good.
Yeah, but that's the thing too, though.
Yeah.
It's like
Even when they're doing
it's
good.
social media, so everything anybody puts on there is like it can
Highlights.
exactly like it doesn't matter. Like it can be like, man, I wonder if he's actually really doing good. Let me go ahead and reach out. Hey, how you been?
Yeah.
And sometimes it can feel like, oh, what does this dude want? I haven't talked to this dude since I graduated.
Yeah.
What do you want? I know it can be like that sometimes, but I don't know. Man, yeah, it does make me feel bad because I should have.
It's okay. It's okay.
I should have.
I'm here now.
Yeah,
That was
and
good.
that is good. That's good.
But I remember going. I Stanley here in Seminole,
Stanley
Martins.
mhm.
God was working through him to the younger kid, working through him to kind of wake me up.
Yeah.
God worked. He's orchestrating everything. Eventually, someone who doesn't even know Christ is going to be woken up. Eventually, they're going to get their doorbell ring. Eventually, but after you've already accepted Christ, He's sending more people to wake you up when you stray away. And that was definitely happening while I was there in Denton. While I was so lost, not even thinking about God. Eventually, there at the end, I was working at a Subway. And I was not used to fast food. That was never. My first job was in the oil field. I was kind of embarrassed to be working in the food industry after doing manual labor jobs.
Yeah.
But luckily, no one knew me out there, so it didn't really matter. I wasn't,
Mhm.
But I remember working one night, it was lunchtime, I think, and I was wearing this necklace, cross necklace, and a guy came in, and he was like, "Are you a believer?" And I was like, "Absolutely, yes." Didn't look like it. The way I was living was not for Christ at all.
Yeah.
If I hadn't told anyone that I was a believer, they wouldn't have known. It was not noticeable at all. And I remember telling him, yeah, and he just started sharing his testimony a little bit and went along with his day. And I was like, it kind of made me God was ringing my doorbell that day. Where you at, Carter? Where you at, man?
Yeah.
And then, I kid you not, the next day, I'm closing. And we close at 10. And it's 9:50. 10 minutes till close. I'm already getting everything ready to put up, shut down, go home, And a guy walks in. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. It's 10 minutes till we close. What are you doing? And same thing. I always wear my necklace on the outside of my shirt. I got a hoodie on right now, but if it's a t-shirt, it's on the outside.
Yeah.
Never tucked in. And he comes in. Are you a believer? I just started laughing. I was like, no way. I just knew it was God,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he, instead of him sharing his testimony, he was asking me questions. Where are you at right now? And I just I was honest. Told him I'm far off, straight away, not living right. I know I'm not. And he ended up giving me his number and taking my number. And he actually was doing some type of ministry work through UNT at the college there in Denton. And I actually went and had dinner with him and his wife. I want to say I was high. Like I smoked right before I went. Like I was still way off, But sat down with him, had dinner with him, was honest with him, kind of told him my plans. My plan was to move back to Lubbock. But I guess my whole thing about that is like God is always sending people. He's always giving you opportunities to come back home.
Yeah.
Come walk in what I have for you. And it's so hard to do that when you're distracted, like surrounded with all these distractions. You can only do so much,
Yeah.
And I remember trying, but like until you like just drop everything and leave. I mean, it can be done. Don't get me wrong, but
It's hard.
it was hard.
Yeah.
It
Very
was
hard.
I don't know.
And like when you decided to quit smoking and everything, like
I moved back here in Seminole on September 4th. On September 3rd, I smoked that night. Went out to the bars that night. Like I knew it was my last night there. I wasn't gonna have any of that here in Seminole. I don't know anyone really like who's here anymore.
Yeah.
Most of the kids my age are still in college. So I come back here, and I knew coming back here was an opportunity to grow. I was coming back here with a positive mindset. I wasn't happy to be back here. I wasn't happy to be moving back in with my dad.
Yeah.
I've been on my own since I was 18. Like didn't do that. So like it was kind of humbling. Like you're back, and I was not happy to be back at first. Like I didn't want to see anyone I knew because I didn't want them to be asking me questions like, "What are you doing, man?" I'm back to Seminole.
Yeah.
Working. Just that. It's just the enemy trying to make you feel bad about where you're at in life.
Yeah.
And I remember feeling, even my dad, we were going to the Walmart one day, and I was like, I don't even want to go in. He was like, why? And I was like, I don't want to see anyone. I just don't want to even answer the questions.
Yeah.
And but I knew being back here was for my own good. Is like at the time I like was in debt, owed a lot of money, like it was bad. Like all my money was going to weed. I was choosing to buy weed over groceries. Like not eating it sometimes because I would rather buy weed to get high. And my phone was disconnected when I came back. Like I owed a lot of money to pay my phone. I had to pay my phone off to even get it turned back on. A lot of debt down there, like rent, my landlord and everything. But God is good. I needed a job. I didn't know where I was going to work. And I used to have this written down in my notes what day I came to work. I want to say it was like 13th of September. I started. And the day I started work is the day I got back into work. I woke up. I was waking up an hour early before work every day, just getting in a devotional, And really, my motivation to get back into the Word was sexual temptation. Like, in Seminole, if you do something, everyone's gonna find out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like everyone's gonna find out. So I knew being back here, I did not want to fall into that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to seek it. I didn't want to chase it, and that's something that I've always struggled with: sexual temptation, pornography, like all that stuff. And that's a lot of kids, a lot of young men these days, and even men in today's world. And it wasn't like I was motivated to beat that. Like I wanted to beat it. I didn't want to like give into that. And I knew God was only. I can't do that by myself,
Yeah.
And for a long time, I've always thought you got to get right with yourself before you get right with God. Like you got to be perfect. Like I always felt like I had to be perfect to be walking in what He had for me, or like His love.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a lot of people. We feel like we have to get right, beat all these things that we're dealing with, in order to please God. And that's not the truth. Like that's the enemy feeding you a lie. And I know now, like God wants you to come with all that stuff. And I can testify to this. Like the moment you start getting the Word consistently, those things that you're dealing with, they start falling off. He's working for you. Like He wants to release all that stuff off you. And we think we got to do it ourselves. And then we can start walking in His love. Not carry that shame or guilt, but He wants you to cast all that onto Him.
Yeah.
Like, Father, this is where I'm at. I'm dealing with all this stuff. I need help. And the moment you just stay consistent in the Word, that's gone. That's gone.
Yeah.
That's gone. But really, it wasn't even a huge fire at the beginning. Like I just started that first week. getting in the Word, like I said, an hour before work. And I went to Cowboy Junction and Hobbs that Sunday because I didn't want to go back to TC. I didn't want to see nobody. I didn't want to be given a hard time because the enemy like
want those questions.
well, the enemy makes you feel like you're being judged.
Yeah.
When you walk back in, when like everyone's really just loving on you. If they weren't talking to you, then they're judging you. But they're all coming up to you,
Yeah.
giving you a hard time. But it's just the enemy feeling like making you feel like you're being judged. And I didn't want to answer the questions. I didn't want to feel like judged, And that next week at work, my second week at work, I show up. Am I like at work? I don't ever know. I don't have like I'm kind of like a floater at work. They throw me wherever they need, like wherever I'm needed. I could be out with my dad one day, or out with Bart, another electrician one day, or at the yard, or with the crew. Like it's never the same.
Yeah.
And one day in that second week of work, I get asked. I was at the yard. And I get asked to go take some fuses to an electrician, Abram Hebert, and he very well could have took those fuses with him to that location. He very well could have had those fuses on his truck. They carry the fuses all the time on the truck, but he didn't have those ones that he needed for that job site. So I get asked to go take them, and I'm there. I'm available. I was at the yard. Wasn't with my dad. It was me. And I take on those fuses, and for some reason I just started. Abram's known me since I was young. For some reason I just opened up to him about everything, like how I want to change. Just like tired of dealing with all this stuff.
Yeah.
And he just started opening up. He asked me, like, where are you going to church? Or are you even going to church? And I said, well, I went to Cowboy Junction Sunday. It was good. But I like TC. Like, that's my family. They've always been my family. I love everyone that goes there. And he was like, well, they're having a conference. There's the Word and the Spirit conference. Like, you should come out. I was like, all right. Like, I was completely open to it. And I showed up Sunday morning and went throughout that conference. And my plan wasn't to come back here. It was the only reason I came back here is because I couldn't afford to go move to Lubbock like I wanted to. I was in debt, My plan was to move to Lubbock. I wanted to be a basketball trainer, and that came to me while I was in Denton. But I wanted it to be bigger than just me, a trainer, to the kid. Like I wanted to somehow implement God into it.
Yeah.
And when I got the vision for it, I'm sitting in a gym, almost looks like with a microphone, and these kids are like sitting down in front of me. And I did not want to believe that I'm like preaching to these kids or anything like that. Because I don't feel qualified. I didn't grow up in church. I didn't learn all the Bible stories. I don't know the Word that well. Nah, I'm not preaching to them. But I come to that conference, or even that Sunday morning, I find out TC is building a new student center with a basketball gym in it.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a coincidence. Nothing God does is by coincidence. My mind was like blown. Like I want it to be bigger than just, I want to somehow implement God into it. And my church was building a student center with a gym in it. Like, come on, like, what? I did not want to be here in Seminole. And so my mind was just like blown right there. Like, wow, that's not a coincidence, And I don't know, the conference was really good. Like, I was ready. I don't know why, but it was just like a new revelation. Like, I was ready to just, after that, surrender myself. Like, Father, I don't care what it looks like.
Yeah.
I don't care what my life looks like. Like, just use me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what it looks like. Just take me. And ever since I said that, like, surrendered myself, it's just been way different. Way different.
Yeah. And that's awesome, man. Like, just seeing you grow.
Yeah.
Seeing you step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like, what made you do that? What made you want to even, hey, let me record some videos. Let me put it on Instagram.
I don't know. I always have been scared of like public speaking in front of people. But Wednesday night after that conference, it was testimony night. Get up there, say your testimony if you have a testimony. And I opened up about like the basketball thing, and then taking those fuses to Abram that day. Like, that wasn't by coincidence. Like, him inviting me out to the, like,
Yeah.
I didn't know the conference was going on. Nothing he does is by coincidence.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just wanted to do more. I know, like, church is good. We come, we get fed up, we get fed. But what are we doing on the outside of church? Like, how am I displaying His love on the outside of church? And because I don't want to blend in. I don't want to be wasted potential. You know, like everyone who accepts Christ has a plan. Like he has a plan for you.
Yeah.
A plan for you, like something that you can be doing for the kingdom. But we're so selfish natured, and the enemy has twisted this world to like desire things like a nice house, a nice car, nice clothes, like things to satisfy ourselves. You know.
Yeah.
That we focus on, like I gotta have all this stuff, or I'm not doing good in life. You know. None of this stuff matters. Big house, nice house, it doesn't matter. In the end, nice clothes doesn't matter in the end. You know, and we're so brainwashed and chase that stuff. You know,
Well, it's because that's what they see.
yeah.
You know, you
Exactly.
you open up any social media and you see people with, oh, look at this, look at their nice house, look at their truck, look at
It's all
those
highlights
shoes,
of
look at
everyone's
it.
life. Everyone acts like they're doing so good.
Exactly. So what if you were to go on there and be like, man, you would have posted, I'm depressed. You think you would have had a lot of people reach out to you?
Yeah, absolutely. But no one's gonna.
Nobody's gonna do that.
No.
And but that's, I feel like when it comes to men,
Mm-hmm.
we don't open up as much. We actually don't even open up at all.
Yeah.
And that's where we lack like everything, because the more you open up, just like how you opened up about drugs, you opened up about being dealing with your sexuality, not sexuality, but
Sexual temptation.
yeah, sexual temptation. Not a lot of people open up like that.
No.
They're very scared because they think they're going to be judged. But no,
Right.
man, it's like,
God doesn't want you to. The reason you're not getting through that stuff is because you're holding on.
exactly.
You're hiding.
Yes.
And I, just from the other day, Pastor Tyler, like, there's power when you speak.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to like be praying in your head and like be asking for forgiveness and stuff.
Yeah.
But when you speak it and you own it, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about to get real with you, man. Like, even when I moved back, like, weed was something I wasn't sure about. Like, it's here, you know? It's here on earth.
Oh, yeah.
God created everything. Like, I can still smoke that and still be walking, you know? But he wants us to be sober. He does. But I wasn't sure about it. And I'm not going to say who I smoked with, but, like, I remember smoking with him. And, like, I feel like I wasn't doing anything wrong while I was doing it. I was talking to him about God. And, like, how me and Crystal A had been reading. Like, it was all about that the whole time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just I struggled with it until that night. Like I think I smoked 2 times previous, and then that third time, and all 3 times, like when I was in Denton, like pothead, smoking every day, I never struggled with like anxiety or like freaking out while I was high.
Mm-hmm.
And the 3 times that I smoked, I was like not comfortable. Maybe the first time I was comfortable, but the second 2 times, like after I like started getting in the word and stuff, and like super paranoid, super like freaked out. That had never happened to me.
Yeah.
I always like thought like you can't handle weed, like come on, you know, because I had never dealt with anything like that. And that third time, I pulled up to my dad's house, and my room was in the backyard. It's like a guest house in the backyard, a little room. So I gotta walk through the house to the back door to get out there, you know. And I knew I was too like couldn't function. Like I just looked high.
Yeah.
And when I was smoking in Denton, like every day, like I could be around anyone and then probably not know because that was so normal to me, you know. But I just knew like I was too. I haven't smoked this for so long, so like it hit me hard, you know. So I pulled up to the house and I'm sitting there in the truck, like I'm gonna chill out. I'm just gonna sit in here for a little bit, let this calm down, and then I'll walk in there when I feel like I can walk through there comfortably. And I remember sitting in my truck, and there's a street light behind us, like one house down. There's one street light. And I remember looking, just sitting there through this mirror, shining perfect, bright, and through the other mirror, flickering. And I might sound crazy on here. I don't know if you know who John Ramirez is.
John Ramirez.
He
Maybe
used to be a warlock, like for Satan, like a general for Satan.
John Ramirez.
Like he worshipped the devil, like and everything.
Okay.
And I think after I started watching his videos, like I was like, Satan's real, you know,
Yeah.
like actively real, like
Yeah.
because I do like crazy testimony. Like I highly recommend you look him up. But from the age, he was 8 years old, getting trained up, going to demon church. He's like, we do exactly what y'all do. Y'all go to church, we go to church. Y'all go to church for an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes. We go to church for 8 hours. Y'all are praying, we're praying. Y'all get baptized, we get baptized. Y'all get baptized in water, we get baptized in blood. Like, just crazy stuff. And he said that he got to the point where he could leave his body spiritually and be up at a street light cursing neighborhoods. Cursing neighborhoods. Like, it sounds crazy to believe, right?
I think I know who you're talking about. I'm older man. Is he older?
Hispanic.
Yeah, he's older now. I'm pretty sure, right? Like,
I don't know how old he is. He's got a little gray, but
I think I know. I think I've seen some.
but
Or
he said he could leave his body spiritually like that, be up there at the streetlights, cursing neighborhoods. So like when I'm sitting in the truck, I'm thinking about that. That like that light over here in the right, it's the same light I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And in the right mirror, it's flickering over there. And I look in this one, it's just still, constant, like just shining bright.
Yeah.
And he even said that he could leave his body into animal form, like cats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, I'm not making this stuff up. I'm sitting there in my truck, looking at these the same light through these rearview mirrors, you know. And I look through my window. There's a cat sitting in the middle of the street, looking right at me. Right at me. It sounds crazy, I know, but like, I was just thinking about him and how real that stuff is, you know. And it spooked me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
And then right then and there, you're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. Did your dad ever catch? Like, did your dad ever catch you?
So I guess I left that out. When I moved back my second night here, I think that's why God started revealing a bunch of this stuff to me, like giving me the revelation about like the basketball training thing, and just getting in the Word too. Like, I don't know why. Like, I hadn't been in the Word in a long time, so I don't really know why I started getting in the Word.
Yeah.
Someone asked me the other day, like, what made you want to like? But my second night here, I was honest with my dad about everything. He didn't know how I was living on it. He didn't know I was doing drugs or anything like that. And I was honest with him about everything, even like pornography and like sexual temptation, all that stuff. And I think my spiritual father was pleased with how honest I was with my father here. And I was confessing all that stuff, speaking about it, you know?
Yeah.
But the first 2 times, no, my dad didn't know. But that night, I walked through the house, like as soon as I opened up the garage, it's like through the garage, no one's in the kitchen, no one's in the living room, so I'm like, I got it, you know, I'm going to my room, no one's gonna know. I walk all the way to my room, I want to say like, put my keys, wallet, phone down. This is funny, but like there's no bathroom in there, so like I step outside and just pee in the grass, you know. Of course, not facing the house if
Yeah.
anyone's walking by. But as I'm using the bathroom or whatever, he turns on the porch light. He's like looking at me. I'm just like, you know. And then I go back to my room. He's like flicking the light off and on. Like, I don't know. I was high. I know I was high, but I didn't feel like I was doing anything to like make him be suspicious.
Yeah.
So it's normal for me to do that. And I like get into bed, and he comes in there, and he's like, "Why are you acting different?" I was like, "What do you like?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" You know, try and play it off. And I haven't told him about that. But what's crazy is that, like I said, when we confess and repent, you know,
Yeah.
like it's instant. Like you don't have to hold on. When we hold on to that stuff and hide it, you feel shame, you feel guilt, you feel so bad about it, you know.
Oh yeah.
And I remember being in my truck, like repenting, like asking Jesus, like take this off me. Like I don't want to feel this way. Like forgive me, just repenting, like in the truck, you know. And that was Friday. 2 days before I got baptized. But the next day I woke up, no shame, no guilt, like, because I repented, you know. And I even texted Chris. I was honest with Chris DeLay about it. I told him, like, I messed up, man. Like, but I don't feel no shame about it. I don't feel guilty about it. So I repented. And I didn't do anything crazy when I was on it. You know, I was sharing God the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But that also clicked to me about, like, how quick God is to forgive you.
Yeah.
How quick, like, he didn't even, as soon as you, like, you ask for forgiveness, it's gone. He don't care. He's so glad that you, like, owned it.
Oh yeah.
And that's crazy to me. Because like usually when you mess up, you feel like you
Yeah.
just want to hide it. You don't want to tell no one. And then you hold on to that stuff, and it's just like shame that you're holding on to. You never let it go.
Definitely. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's crazy to me. Like it was just like God is so good. Like I can wake up the next day and I got in the word the next day. Like as if it never happened.
Yeah.
Like God is good. It's crazy.
Dude, that is crazy. I'd never known.
Yeah.
Nothing. None of that about you. Like, surprised, bro. Honestly.
Yeah.
But just because a lot of people being on here are scared to. I'd say they're scared. They just don't want to be judged for the past.
Right.
You know, but they don't realize this is a testimony. This can save somebody's life.
Exactly.
Knowing everything you've been through. By you speaking, like you said, by you speaking.
I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not scared to speak anymore. I'm not scared to like own this stuff. If I'm gonna own it to God, I should be able to own it to everyone.
Dude, your voice has a purpose, man.
Exactly.
Everybody's voice has a purpose.
What's crazy is like I've been asking God to use me. Like I just want to be used for the kingdom. Like I know you. I have a calling.
Yeah.
Like in your love, like in your will for my life, you know. And I don't know if I want to say his name or not. I don't think I'm going to. But I had reached out to him. He was actually supposed to be my roommate in Lubbock, and we don't know each other. We're in the same grade. I will say that he did go to expand. Like he knows the Lord. You know, accepted Jesus at one point, and I reached out to him when I got back, thinking that he was still here in Seminole. You know, I said, hey, like I'm back. If you ever want to go to church or get lunch or something, like here's my new number. When I got my phone turned on, and he didn't acknowledge the church part at all. He was like, yeah, we should get lunch sometime. And but he never texted me after that. Never reached out. And then the second I posted that video of me talking, you know, like saying what I said on that video, he texted me like the next day, like, hey man, use my number. Like, he went back to our messages on Instagram, got my number, texted me like, hey man, I'm not doing very well. We should like link up so you can give me some advice or something. I was like, absolutely, man. Like, I'd love to help in any way. Yeah. So he drove down, I want to say on a Friday or Saturday, from Lubbock in the evening time. And we stayed at the walking park till 1 in the morning. And what's crazy is that everything that he's going through right now is exactly how I was living in there. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm talking on point. Like, he's smoking weed right now. Every day, like, it's his lifestyle. It's like it was my lifestyle. He recently just tried shrooms. Like, right before I moved back, it was recently. Like, I had done shrooms. And then he's with a girl right now. And I was with the girl when I moved back. It was just, like, on point. Like, I could, and God was just using me, working through me to, like, open this kid's eyes. And he couldn't believe that, like, I was doing all that stuff. Yeah. Like, not even a month ago. Man. And that's what I'm saying. God can do anything. Oh, yeah. And instantly. As soon as you surrender yourself, get down, you know. And we visited that night, and his eyes were just like no way. Like, it was crazy. He couldn't believe it. And I was just sharing my testimony, you know, and just sharing how good God is. Mm-hmm. And he came back another time and was just sharing. I was just being honest with him, telling him everything, you know. And he was like, every time I come down here around you, like, I just feel peace. And eventually he met up with Pastor Ben and laid it down, surrendered. That's awesome. I bought him a Bible. Like, he's got a Bible now. Didn't have one. Yeah. That's awesome. God is good. Yeah, he is. A girl, like, God is just like, it's in John, and I said it somewhere in those videos, like, I don't know what verse it is, but if you believe in the scripture, as the scriptures say, out of his heart living waters will flow like a river. And living waters just being like the Spirit, you know. I sat down to have dinner with a girl in Lubbock, and I had been sharing God with her through text messages, like how God's moving in my life. And when I sat down to eat with her, like, we were talking at first, and she gets a notification on her phone, Facebook notification, like, message, and this girl that she didn't even know texted her and was like, "Hey, I know you don't know me that well, but is there anything I can pray for?" And she, like, doesn't know what to do career-wise right now. So I was like, just tell her, like, career, you know? Didn't really think anything of it. Like, that's just God, you know, like, awesome. Well, that was Saturday. Sunday, this girl's dad reaches out to her, like, hey, you want to go to church? And she hadn't been going to church at all. I just thought back to that scripture, like, out of your heart, living waters, you know?
Yeah.
Spirit is flowing. To waking people up, ringing their doorbell.
That's
God is
awesome,
good.
man. No,
Yeah.
he is. Like, yeah, all the time. Like, he is. And I love what God is doing. I love what he's doing in your life, too, man.
And I think for that kid that reached out to me, even after that video, like, when I got back and I texted him, he told me, like, stuff started going, like, he started feeling convicted, like he was doing wrong after I reached out to him. So I feel like that was just God. I didn't tell him I didn't even know he was dealing with any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But when I reached out, like, I feel like God, like, rang his doorbell. So he started feeling off, you know, like, I'm not doing good. And then I post that video, and he reaches out to me.
Dude, yeah.
And
It's awesome.
I feel called to this generation, like, to go speak to this generation.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's going to look like, and I don't want to rush it.
Yeah.
Like, I've been so eager here recently, like, I just want to be used, I just want to be used, I just want to be used. And I feel like God's just, like, here recently just told me, like, relax, be patient, just keep on doing what you're doing.
There you go. And you're doing the right thing. You're already starting videos.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere,
Absolutely.
you know, and that's where it's at.
Yeah.
And I think it's like that with all of us, man. Like this right here.
Yeah.
I didn't know where this was going to go. I don't know if I was going to keep doing it or not. You know, I mean, there are days where I'm like, God, like, really? You still want me to do this or not? Like, because
Enemy.
exactly, you know, and just, but then he's like, yes, you know, then there comes you texting me. Hey, bro, I want to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
All right, nice, let's do it. You know, and just hearing other people's testimonies, dude,
Right.
that like encourages me to keep going, to keep doing it,
Absolutely.
you know, to keep moving. That's what it's about. I love, man, like, no matter where you're at in life, talking to anybody out there, no matter where you're at, we're here. You're accepted. You're welcome to come hang out at the house. You're welcome to come on here and I just want to hang and talk. I think a lot of times we do too much talking.
Yeah.
And we don't want to listen. I'm always down to listen.
Right.
Always.
I don't know. It's another little story. At work, there's a kid. His name's Caleb, 15-year-old kid, and his dad's name is John. Caleb Schmidt, John Schmidt, and his dad. When I got hired on, I feel like I don't know. It's irrigation company, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the guys are Mennonite, you know.
Oh yeah.
German. Love them to death. But I look apart, you know. Earrings, tattoo, like, you know. And I feel like no one was really taking me serious when I got hired on. And John either, like, just feel like no one was really paying me any attention, you know. I just feel like, you're just here because your dad got you hired on, you know. And I got sent to go do some motors. Finally, like, I told them what I could do, what I was doing when I was working there.
Yeah.
But they really took a little while to, like, send me, you know, to have trust in me.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it, and I got them done 7 motors by lunchtime. You know, I told them, like, hey, I finished. And, like, are you sure? Like, really? And anyway, I want to say it was the 3rd day I was there at work. That kid, Caleb, we were alone in the welding shop for a little bit. And I just started talking about God to him. And he just knows the word. Like, he's well trained up. Like, his parents have done a really good job with him. Like, he knows the word. Like,
Yeah.
it was awesome. Like, awesome that I was able to be at work and, like, God's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't get that a lot of places. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or we're too afraid to bring it up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And 15-year-old kid that I'm sharing this with, like, building a relationship already.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I started telling him about The Chosen.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. Highly recommend it for anyone out there. But started, like, just telling him about it. And I guess his dad and them were pretty, like, strict on what they let them watch and everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he had to get permission, like, to watch it. And he was, like, begging his dad, like, hey, can we watch this? Like, Carter said it's really good. And they eventually started watching it and getting super into it, you know. And then his dad pulls me aside one morning. He's like, man, I just want to appreciate, like, I just want to thank you. You know, like, shook my hand. Like, I had never really talked to him at work other
Yeah.
than that one time. Like, pulled me aside and thanked me. He's like, we're loving it. Like, I'm bawling my eyes out. Like,
yeah, like that's what it's about, man. Like people out there think like you have to be this perfect person to be a Christian.
no.
You got to look this certain way,
You
and
know what's
and you
funny?
got to walk a certain like, dude. No,
That kid, Caleb, he told me this the other day. He's like, you know, he talked about their church at first. Their pastor brought up a homeless guy, someone who was known in the church, got him dressed up as he was homeless. Sat on the front row, everyone coming in, no one even like going out of their way to go shake his hand, ask him how he's doing, you know. So when church starts, pastor gets up there and he's like, come on up here. Takes off like all the makeup and stuff. Like everyone's like, someone who goes there all the time. He's like, we need to do a better job as the church, you know.
yeah,
Doesn't matter what people look like.
definitely.
And Kayla, after he told me that story, Kayla was like, I'm not gonna lie, like when I first met you, I judged you. I was like, what was it, the earrings and the tattoo? And he was like, yeah, like
Yeah,
I just didn't know
yeah.
who you gonna be like. And then you started talking to me about God, and I was like,
And it's
this
just,
dude's way different.
and it's because the way some people are raised. Some
Yeah.
people would be too religious and think like
Right.
like I said, you can't have certain
Yeah.
way. You can't wear certain
Right.
things and be a Christian. Like one thing that I asked, because I'm about to do a wedding.
Yeah.
And I asked him because I just want to know. I was like, man, why me? Like, why did you choose me to do it? And he's like, I'm just gonna be real with you. Like, you've never judged me. Even when I fell away, you never judged me. Like you just love me. I would say, hey, this is where I'm at, and you accepted me, and you still encouraged me, but you accepted me for who I am. It's like, well, yeah,
That's God.
I mean, and then that blew me away.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. And I'm gonna ask you, James, like, why did you ask me? Same reason. And see, it's just,
That's God love.
yeah, like
That's
that's
his
why
love.
we keep going, and
Yeah.
and that's why like I like being around people. I mean, there are times where I'm alone or I'm with
Right.
my family, but
Right.
like, dude, if you're not like that, if all you're gonna do is go out and judge somebody because of what they're doing or what they did in the past or
Right.
how they look or dress or what they don't and do have, like, are you really even love? I mean, seriously, because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go out and judge anybody. No, like you're accepted,
Exactly.
man, and like even if you don't believe in God, you're still accepted.
Absolutely.
I'm still here. I'm still gonna listen. I'm still gonna hang out with you.
And when people are around someone who's walking like that, walking in His love, because that's His love. That's what His love is
Yeah.
to us. How we should be loving people. Like when they're around people like that, they're drawn to. You know, that's God.
Dude, definitely, man. Like
And
it's
they need to understand that that's how God wants to love you.
yeah.
He wants
Oh,
you
yeah.
to come to Him with all that baggage,
Exactly.
and not feel judged. You're not gonna feel judged.
No,
The
man.
moment you step in and bow down, start taking that stuff off your back.
Mm-hmm. Dude, you'd be used in some great ways. Got a lot of testimonies too that I can share, but one that was recent. Pastor Mike and I went to go play some disc golf in Hobbs. Went to Allsup's to get something to drink. Sunflower seeds that we always, I don't know why, started getting sunflower seeds when we play, but Holy Spirit had just wanted me to tell this girl, hey, that you're proud of her. To say that I'm proud of her.
Yeah.
So I did. Blew her mind away. She was like about to cry. She was like, thank you. Like even this, like it can just be something small like that. Like not that it's small, but just saying something like that. You've already planted that seed. You're showing love by just saying that, And I think all I said was like, God's proud of you. He loves you. And she just kind of looked at me like, wow, like I needed that, And some of us don't do that. I know we don't do that enough.
That's being obedient to the Spirit.
Yeah,
Being led by the Spirit.
exactly. And man, like I always want to be led. I always want like this whole no holds things is.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be led.
Right.
Spirit led. Like wherever you want to go, Holy Spirit, you have your way. If you want me to ask, I'll ask these questions. If you don't want me
Right.
to ask anything, then all I'm gonna do is listen.
Right.
Because it's your story,
Yeah.
your testimony. That's all I need to do is listen. And man, like it's just amazing to see where you're at, bro. It is. Like I'm glad you text me.
Yeah.
Because yeah, this wouldn't have happened today. It'd probably happen later on, but it needed to happen. You know.
It's crazy. Like it's crazy that you probably weren't expecting.
No, I would.
To hear all
Dude,
this.
where was I? Because you text me on. What day did you text me on?
I don't know. Check.
I can't
Was it
even.
that long ago?
No, it wasn't. Like it was. I'm trying to figure out where I was. We may have been in Lubbock. I think that's where we were at. I think you texted me on Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah.
And you're like, "Hey, bro, it's Carter." And I'm like, "Carter? Hey, what's up?" You know, didn't think anything of it. And then, hey, man, I want to be on your podcast. Let's do it. Let's get it done. You know?
Yeah.
And man, like I'm glad that you did. I'm glad that you opened up, and I'm just glad that you were just real. You know, that's what we need to be. Is we need to be real, real and open.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way people actually connect is when
it's real.
When you're yourself, you're real. You know, then like I said, people know when you're fake.
Yeah.
People know when you're real, and it's just, yeah, it's God is good, bro.
Absolutely.
God is awesome, man. Anything else you'd like to share before we end this?
Thankful to be here.
Yeah, man.
Thankful to be on here.
Yeah.
Love what you're doing. It's cool.
Thanks, bro.
There's power in our testimonies. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Someone can relate.
Oh man, yeah. There's so much power in your testimony. I think just when people realize that, people actually believe that, it'll change. It'll change the way they start seeing things. It'll change their life. You know, it's your story, bro.
Yeah.
Man, and to hear your story, to hear everything you've been through, like I said, I had no idea. Yeah. Like at all.
Everyone's got a story.
Oh yeah, everybody does have a story, and it's amazing. I think that's what I enjoy most is hearing everybody's story.
Yeah.
Hearing what you've been through. Mm-hmm. Like it just, like I said, it encourages me to keep going.
Yeah.
To keep doing more, to keep reaching out. You know, and I say this all the time, like anybody's welcome.
Yeah.
You know, anybody's welcome. All we're doing is just having a conversation.
Right. Being
led and having a conversation.
Absolutely.
But you keep it up too, man. You keep sending out videos. You keep encouraging, reaching out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's what it's about, bro. That's what it's about. But if somebody, you do have social media, of course. For the people that don't know you and they want to follow you, what is your username
Instagram.
Or your Instagram name?
It's Carter Sam with 3 M's. So CarterSann.
Check out his videos. You'll be encouraged. I know you will. Very encouraged. Yeah, man. That's what it's about.
I don't know. That's what this podcast is. Just being real.
Yeah.
Just being raw, real.
Raw and real. Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
You'll have to come on next time.
Yeah.
When I have topics.
Yeah.
And then we can.
I
don't know if you saw the one with Chris and Thomas.
Bits and pieces.
Talking about sex and mental health. Chris didn't know what's.
It
is funny. Like I've had people tell me like his face is like.
Yeah.
He didn't know what to say, but hey, man, like it's okay.
Yeah.
Just having a
conversation. Things we talked about for sure.
Yeah, man, and that's because there are a lot of topics still in there that some very good topics that we would need to talk about. But yeah, definitely love to have you back on, bro.
I'd love to be back on.
Yes, sir. But that is all that we got for tonight. But until next time, we are out. Peace.
Peace.